On September 17th, 2001, just 6 days after the September 11th attack, George Bush went to the National Mosque in D.C. George Bush, the Republican president. And he called for calm, he called for restraint, he called for peace, he called for unity in the nation, and he particularly asked us to protect our Muslim neighbors who had been targeted following the 9/11 attacks. In fact, he called Islam a religion of peace. It was an incredibly healing moment in this nation's history. Flash forward to yesterday. President Trump on Fox and Friends, talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination, put the blame on the radical left, who is out of control. He said the radical right doesn't do things like that. They just care about reducing crime. I would ask him to talk to the parents of the 19 children killed in the Oklahoma City bombing committed by radical right wing extremist Timothy McVeigh. Trump has come out over and over again regarding the Kirk killing, blaming the radical left. In fact, he said we need to beat the hell out of them this week. The motive of the shooter is unclear. There's elements of anti fascism, but there's also right wing elements, including written on one of the shell casings if you find this, you're gay. That's not the language of the left. The shooter came from a Trump loving Republican family in a very red state. We have more to figure out here. The shooter last year in Butler, the guy that nicked Trump's ear, was a registered Republican who researched assassinating Biden before he looked into assassinating Trump. But the language is very clear from the president. It's the radical left, go after them. And we've seen an increase in violent threats this week. We've seen Democratic politicians receive bomb threats, including here in Oregon. We've seen historically black universities receive bomb threats. I mean, why would the supporters of Charlie Kirk threaten black universities? The language of division is what we get from this president. What we need is the language of calm and the unity that we're all Americans, we're all in this together, we're all going to find our way through it. We need to hold on to our neighbors and touch grass, like the governor of Utah said. But instead, we get those people are bad, go get them. And you know who does that? Not a good president. You know who does that? A fascist. Fascist scapegoat. Fascist direct the anger and the emotion of people to target a group of people. That's what Trump is doing. This is a fascist moment, not a unifying moment. Think about that. Welcome to the resistance.